So it's earnings time for SoFi, and despite the stock tumbling coming into earnings week, I'm getting more and more excited as we get closer. So I'll tell you what I'm looking for on this earnings call, and I got a big warning, unfortunately, for you guys too. And I'll tell you if the unthinkable is about to happen to SoFi as well. There's a ton to get into today. Just make sure you like the video if you like getting the truth out the hype. That's exactly what you're going to get today, guys. And like I said, I'm excited for the earnings. I just no other way to explain it. It's just how I feel coming into this. So there are four things that matter on this earnings. I understand there's a lot more in an actual earnings report. I got it. Obviously, I deep dive those things with my group and such. But for our context right here, to get you guys the information, I got to focus on four. Nobody wants to hear me talk for an hour anyways. I get it. All right. But this time around, those are the four things that matter that I'm going to talk about the most. And I'll tell you why the unthinkable may happen to SoFi. And of course, the big warning that you must avoid as well. So let's jump into it with number one. What will the Fed do? Now, I know you guys, I don't like to talk to Fed a whole heck of a lot. I know long-term, these type things, they happen, they come in cycles. Great companies handle whatever the heck the Fed throws at them regardless. And obviously, as we've heard in the past, and as we know in the past, what the Fed did or didn't do whenever whenever inflation was through the roof, Fed raised the rates the fastest in history. Everybody said where banks were going to zero and going to be terrible for the banks and everything else. And what did we see as the Fed was hiking rates, hiking rates, hiking rates? Well, the banks in response had record profits, record profits, record profits, all the way into right now where the Fed still has the interest rates pretty freaking high. And of course, it was record profits. Companies like SoFi pivoted, adjusted, and obviously have just been crushing earnings every single quarter, quarter in and quarter out, despite all that. So I'm not really all that concerned with the Fed, but simply given the fact that the Fed meeting happens on the day that SoFi is holding its earnings call. And additionally, because this isn't Powell, this is the new guy. And with the new guy, a lot of folks just aren't certain with his agenda. There is a lot more uncertainty than there normally is around Fed time per se. With Powell, it was pretty predictable coming. By the time you actually got to the meeting, there was a 98% certainty, it felt like, every single time we got there, as in regards to whether they're going to hike, whether they were going to raise, lower, whatever the heck, they hold still, whatever the heck it was. It was kind of more about his commentary, not what the Fed was actually going to do that period of time. They did a pretty good job of telegraphing ahead of time, hey, this is what we're doing. But in this case, it's kind of uncertain. Those numbers are really mixed across the board. And so that right there, in terms of having that happen and then not having enough time for that dust to settle before the traders start doing things and the algos start doing their things and everything else, it's going to create a lot of chaos around the earnings. Okay. It's just going to be chaotic. And more importantly, with that chaos comes ridiculous, stupid narratives. Everybody on Wall Street pointing to 97 different things as the reason why, YouTubers and X people and everybody else having 10,000 different theories around the Fed and around how it's going to affect SoFi and all the good stuff like that. That's why a lot of those things you have to ignore all that noise, get rid of it all, and actually look at the data. Actually look at the earnings. Look at the fundamentals of the company. Look at what was reported. And obviously go through the call, go through all those different things like that tell you the real deal about the stock, not the narratives. The narratives all told you run from SoFi stock when it was at $4 because the Fed was raising interest rates and it's just going to destroy SoFi's business for, the ongoing future. Clearly not true. Same thing. That same way we picked up JP Morgan, right around $100, Goldman Sachs right around $300 or so. Same time frame. Record profits for all of them across the board. Why? Because the narrative is always wrong. You have to get into those fundamentals. And I know a lot of you guys out there, you guys follow SoFi stock. And there's a lot of really good YouTubers discussing SoFi and Fiscal AI as the best research tool out there for long-term investors. I know you guys have heard it. You can graph anything, see how SoFi is looking quarter to quarter, year over year, compare them to Robinhood or anybody else you want to compare them to. Basically, any metric you can think of is able to be graphed and modeled. Also has all of the earnings data. They're pulling their information from the earnings releases, guys, not somebody's spreadsheet or anything else of that nature. So it's incredible. So I have to agree with all of them. It's awesome. And I partnered with Fiscal AI and I'm giving annual group members to my group a max membership for free. That's right. You are getting their top tier level that cost you almost $1,000 on your own if you were to buy it, but it's free for all of my annual members as we roll it out this week to my group. So to celebrate, I'm running an earnings flash sale for my group because I want as many people to be able to take advantage of this as possible and get into those fundamentals. Stay away from all the hype, stay away from all the noise, get into doing that due diligence and understanding what you own. And oh, hey, by the way, you also get 5 free courses with your membership. You also get free coaching. I pay for the coaching. You get to see all my buy and sell alerts in real time. You get my complete watch list with price targets, weekly live streams with myself. Jump into my DMs anytime you want. I put out 3, 4, 5 videos a week. They're just simply for the group right there. We go through earnings releases. We're going to go through SoFi's earnings call specifically right here together live. I try to do as many of those as possible. If I can't get on the earnings live, I'll give you guys a recap there in my group. Typically, those don't make the light of day here on YouTube, so check it out. It's the pinned comment. Take advantage of the earnings flash sale before the price goes back up. So number 2, will we get a raise in guidance this quarter? Now, last quarter, it was kind of the first time in a long time that we haven't gotten a beat and raise, right? We got a beat, but we didn't get the raise in guidance that we normally get in regards to SoFi. Obviously, Anthony Noto taking a much more cautious approach. Now, he did not lower guidance and he just maintained guidance, which for SoFi, that was kind of a big deal. A lot of people saw it as a red flag, whatever the case was. Just being a prudent CEO is how I took it personally. But let's see, do we go back to getting a raise in guidance again this quarter, or is kind of that uncertainty we just talked about with the Fed gonna basically give him the space to kind of say, hey, let's take a pause here. Let's see how we look going into the last couple quarters here of the year. No need to raise yet. I'm not real sure, but I would love to see a raise in guidance this quarter, regardless of what happens with the Fed. Even if he goes ahead and raise guidance and says, hey, we expect them to, increase rates 1 or 2 times this year instead. And then we get a raise. That's a huge, green light per se that, hey, they expect the business to be really strong. And that to me is something I'm absolutely looking forward to and looking to see, are we going to get that raise in guidance or not this quarter? Now, let's move on to number 3, which is, will the tech platform pick up steam? Now, I'm sure this will be one of the most asked questions on our earnings live stream during the call coming up here this week that I'm doing over in my group. Almost guaranteed. It always seems like there's so much emphasis on the tech platform. And I understand he'd said something that was probably something he shouldn't have said 3 years ago about the tech platform. But to me, it's not even the biggest portion of what will give us that fintech multiple later on. It's not just the tech platform and nothing else. It's been underperforming for a while now, but yet you see the fintech side continuing to grow at a faster clip than the lending side has. With the loan platform business, obviously with their brokerage business, and a lot of other things that they're getting into, those are all separate from the banking side. Those are all fintech type products that are going to give us that fintech multiple later on. So for me, yes, it's definitely something I watch because I would love to see that pick up steam. I would love to see it I guess we won't call it the AWS of fintech, right? But just be something that's a larger contributor to that bottom line there. But I'm not getting all wrapped up in all the narratives around, oh, well, they're only going to be just a bank if the tech platform doesn't come off, because of all those other product lines that we just talked about, which include the loan platform business, which that leads me perfectly to number 4, which is, will the loan platform business crush it again? Now, this one will be the second, maybe the most asked question I get on an earnings live stream when we're talking about SoFi. What about the loan platform business? Explain out the loan platform business a little bit more, helping understand how it's not really lending at all. It is part of that fintech component of the business and a lot of other things of that nature. It's difficult to understand because you hear the word loan, therefore you immediately think lending when it's not lending at all. This to me has been the one thing that has just absolutely given them massive gains to that bottom line and has really pushed this business a lot further. To me, I'll give up the tech platform tomorrow if they want to accelerate growth in the loan platform business. It's a better business, it's a higher margin business, and it's something that they, according to Noto, they have really, I won't call it unlimited demand, but they have far more demand and they have capacity to continue to push that business forward. So for me, this one right here is definitely one I want to see. A, do they continue to crush it? And B, especially given some of the balance sheet maneuvering they did last quarter, is that going to open the floodgates for the loan platform business here, coming into late 2026, for the rest of the year here? If that's the case, man, that could very well set us up for some really big earnings on the back end of this year. Not necessarily this quarter, obviously not necessarily the first quarter. We were just on target, but that back end of the year, maybe some big explosion in regards to earnings if they're able to do that, if they position themselves well enough. All right. So that to me, those are the 4 things I'm looking for, but I got a big warning for you guys first. You have to understand it. So the big warning is falling for the hype up or down. Now, what do I mean by this? It seems like with SoFi, it kind of almost, it's not quite as rabid as the Tesla community, but man, if it has a surprise earnings call, or we'll just say a beat and they do raise and some of the other things go correctly with the Fed and such, or at least where Wall Street likes it, right? You're going to have a lot of hype birds coming out with these crazy projections and these crazy, oh, now the run to 75 is going to, oh, now the super gamma mega, whatever squeeze is going to happen, whatever the case is. That right there is something you fall for that. That's how come so many folks were piling in at 28, 29, 30, 31, $32 when we were right here warning that, hey, that's way overpriced, way ahead of ourselves there. We need to slow down and take our time, which is exactly what we did. And thankfully we didn't buy then. We were buying whenever it got under $20 again or so. And the same exact thing happens whenever it falls down. If it staggers out of earnings, man, everybody's going to be out there, dead money, put your money some other place. Noto's a terrible CEO. These are coming from bulls, by the way. These aren't bear narratives. These are bulls coming out with these narratives and saying these type things there and such. And that's what I mean by don't fall for that hype up or down. Neither one of them are true. Get into those fundamentals, do a real valuation so you understand whenever the hype gets too hot and it gets overvalued, you know to lay off your buying there. Or if you're just simply DCAing, you just continue right on DCAing. And same exact thing. Whenever it's beaten down and it seems quote unquote scary to own the stock, understand you're in the best scenario you could have. If you have great earnings and the stock price goes down, that's the dream scenario for a long-term buy and hold investor. Please give me more shares at under $10. Please. I'll happily take them all day long. The same exact people said the same exact thing, dead money, whatever the case is about Palantir, whenever it got, beaten back down, even after turning profitable, back down to $7. Same narrative, same everything. I'm not saying it will have a Palantir style run. That one right there is pretty ridiculous, 2,000%. However, drops down under 10 bucks or so. Do I think it could easily get up to that $30 mark with the appropriate earnings into the future? And we were busy stacking shares in the 9, or if you've been around on this journey long enough, you're busy stacking shares in the 4. Absolutely, that's possible, but you can't fall for the hype. You've got to go stocks down, fundamentals look great. Hey, using that new fiscal AI tool I gave you, hey, looking right there, man, everything is up and to the right. This is a great business. I don't know what the heck Wall Street's thinking. Exactly my point in doing that level of analysis. That's where the easy money is made. It's where you're buying AMD under $100. It's where you're buying Google at $100. It's where you're buying all those great companies. Even go back Tesla. Hey, it's really easy to not buy it at 400 and instead buy it at 100 if you were looking at the fundamentals at the time. That right there is the difference between long-term buy and hold investors that make a lot of money and folks that are just simply chasing the next shiny object that's the next greatest thing ever. You don't want to do that, guys. All right, so let's talk about, will SoFi do the unthinkable? So I hear you right now. What is the unthinkable? All right. Well, it's actually quite simple in regards to SoFi because I see this comment repeatedly, but maybe we actually do the unthinkable this time and SoFi actually goes up after an earnings call instead of down. I mean, the setup is there, right? I mean, money is clearly rotating out of other trades. The hot trade and the darling of last quarter and the quarter before is now not the darling anymore. Now there's problems. The sector's already beaten up. Money is just moving other places right now. And hey, yeah, if we get a little bit of positive commentary from the Fed, maybe easing of the concern with raise of interest rates, plus great earnings, and because it's been trading down in earnings, hey, setup might very well be there. Now, am I calling it? I'm not really. I don't have any guessing earnings. It's a fool's errand. We know that. You guys that have been on this channel long enough know nobody knows what the heck is going to happen on earnings. They never make any sense. So anybody out there guessing is strictly guessing. Everybody always have pretty charts on little graphs and stuff like that. But if there was any degree of accuracy with those, you would have trillionaire investors, which last time I checked, they don't exist. So I have no reason to do that. But at least unlike other times coming into earnings where you're just like, man, they just got to have some ridiculous, everything fall in line perfect and some ridiculous earnings on top of that. The setup is definitely there for us to at least get some possible momentum if a couple things break our way. Is that going to happen? Who knows at this stage? As much as that would be nice, and I'm sure a lot of you guys would really enjoy that too. I don't know. I kind of want to see great earnings in a tank. So that's kind of what I want to see. Sorry. I like those cheap shares. I know long-term, whenever it finally goes on its run, it's going to make me a whole ton of money. And the more shares you have, the more money you can make. And of course, the more shares you have at a cheaper price, the more money you make as well. That's what this game is all about in the end, which the earnings flash sale is live. Get it before the price goes up. Get your almost $1,000 value. If nothing else, get the fiscal AI value right there. But also take advantage of the courses, the coaching. You want to learn how to be a real investor. I don't know anybody. I'm trying to offer as much as I can for the money in regards to your membership there. Give us a chance. Give a shot there. Like I said, if nothing else, hey, at least you got the fiscal AI tool there. Max membership for a year. That's yours. You can take advantage of. And maybe we'll surprise you a little bit with our coaching, with our great group, great membership. Everybody there wanting you to become a better investor in the end. That is what it's all about. That right there is what we're doing. So check it out. It's the pinned comment. Take advantage of the earnings flash sale before the price goes up. And click this video here if you want to see exactly what I'm buying in this market. And click here to see my exact plan for this market. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next wall.